So if you'll just sit tight, we'll be ready to go in just a minute or two. All right. This live broadcast is about to begin. Are you excited? I'm excited. I'm excited every week to spend this time with you. I know many of you are not able to catch this live, but you are able to catch the recording, and that's really what matters. So we're going to go ahead and let me just take a look and see what time it is. I think we got like 1 minute left. As some of you may know and some of you may not know, I actually do these live broadcasts directly from my iPhone. So I'm broadcasting live from my iPhone just because it's easier and the quality is actually better. And I'm using live stream, just for those of you that are techies and might want to know how I'm doing this. So I could theoretically broadcast from anywhere. So that's really cool and really convenient. So let's get started. We've been working through the book, Don't Try to Stop Stuttering, Replace It. And I hope that you've been able to get your copy of that book. And today, we're going to be looking at the chapter, the section that deals with your journey, And what's so important about this is, in life, you and I are going to go on many different journeys. We're going to have journeys through school, journeys through our career, journeys through relationships. Some of those journeys can be quite rocky, right? So we're going to have many different journeys and many different kinds of journeys. And you're on a journey through the development of your speech, okay? And this journey has probably not been easy, but let me just tell you, it's probably going to be one of the most transformative journeys that you ever take, because you not only have to work on improving your speech, but you're also going to have to work on learning how to relax more, learning how to control your emotions in different situations, learning how to get well or be well rested, right? Learning how to exercise, how to eat proper foods. All of this affects our moods, our emotions, our health, right? How we think, how we're able to respond, the mental energy and horsepower that we actually have available to us, okay? And all of these things affect that. You're going to learn how to better control your environment. Some people put themselves in or remain in environments that are not healthy for them. They're not good for them, and they feel like they're stuck. That can impact not only your speech, but your mental health and your relationships and your finances. Okay. So all of these things are things that you will learn how to manage better as a result of going through this journey. So what I'm going to share with you today is something that I don't usually like to do, and that is I'm going to share with you a tip. And some of you have probably seen this before. And I hope that you can see this board. I've tried to move it up closer. But I'm going to share with you the big tip. The big tip, okay? It looks like you can see that, so I hope you can. The big tip. And each of these letters represents a separate idea, okay? And I'm probably just going to go ahead and try to write in black because I think you'll be able to see that a little better. But the T stands for transform or transformation. transform or transformation. So, the journey from where you are now to smoother, fluent, confident speech, the journey from where you are now to being able to say what you want, when you want, is a transformative journey. It's a transformation. And here's the key. Here's what I need for you to know about this. A transformation usually or sometimes doesn't happen instantly. Now, technically speaking, a transformation can happen instantly, right? A transformation is a change, and there are some changes that can happen and do happen instantaneously, immediately. But when it comes to growth, when it comes to us learning new things or changing, growing, those kinds of transformations usually happen over what? Time. It takes time. And it also takes effort. Okay? It takes time and it takes effort. So, in understanding your journey, one of the things that you have to understand is that you are in the process of transforming, right? You're in the process of transforming, that is, of changing and almost becoming someone new and better, someone new and different. Now, at your core, yes, you're still the same person at your core, but there are many things about you that will be transforming and changing as a result of this process. So you're going to be a better person as a result of going through this process. The thing that you also have to understand is that if you set your expectations such that you think this is going to happen in a short period of time, then when it doesn't, you'll be very disappointed. You might get frustrated, you might get discouraged, and you might give up. You may be doing all the things that I tell you in this program or following someone else's program, and you're like, okay, I did exactly what they said, and nothing happened, right? So if you set your expectations realistically and correctly, then you'll understand that this is a transformation. You are transforming. It's a transformational process, which takes time, okay? Which takes time. Now, something else that's very important here that I want you to know is that, I just wanted to check on something. Something else that's very important for you to understand is that transformation, in this case, doesn't just happen by itself. You actually have to participate in this transformational process. You actually have to participate in this transformational process. And this is important because if you don't participate in the process, then it's probably not going to take place. So some people feel like, okay, I'm going to take the program and I'm just going to let it do its job. And somehow it's going to change me. It's going to change my speech. It's not going to happen. What you have to do is you have to be actively participating in this transformational process. You have to actually be making it happen, making the transformation happen. Now, there are certain things that, as long as you do them, the process will happen. There are other things that you literally have to get in there and get your hands dirty. You have to figure out how to make it work, okay? Very, very important for you to understand that. Now, what's the I stand for? The I in this process stands for initiate. Okay. Now, what do you have to initiate? You have to initiate a systematic process, right? A systematic process. We could say a systematic program or systematic approach. You have to initiate a systematic process. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes people come in and they say, well, I'm just going to practice a little bit here. I'm going to listen to these audios. I'm going to watch a few videos, and maybe I'll practice a little bit here or there. You might experience some results, but you're not going to experience the kind of results that you're looking for. You need to start. You need to initiate a systematic process and then stick with it. Remember, it's a transformational process. It's something that happens over time, and in order to make it happen, you're going to have to be involved in it by initiating something that's systematic, that's ongoing, something that has some steps, that has a procedure, if you will, and something that you do one thing after another, something that you do repetitively, day after day, week after week, month after month. What kind of process or system do you need to initiate? Well, again, it doesn't have to be this program. It could be something else, but it should be something that instructs you to do something each and every day, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just for a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. You need to be doing something each and every day. Why? Because this is how you build new skills and new habits, is by repeating them, by practicing them each and every day. Does that make sense? So if you have something that's systematic, something that you're doing, you're following a certain structure, following a certain procedure each and every day, then you will be more likely to achieve the results that you're looking for. Okay? Because what you're doing is, through the principle of repetition and the principle of accumulation, you're going to be able to gradually develop these skills, the habits, the patterns, the behaviors that you're looking for. One by one, piece by piece, day by day, week by week. So if you have something systematic, it'll help you do that more so than something that's kind of scattered. Well, I'll do this over here, I'll do a little bit of that over there, and maybe I can try that, and maybe you should do this. That's not going to work. This is not the kind of thing that you can just pull together and do something helter-skelter and, okay, I'll do a little bit of this today and maybe I'll try that next week and I'll watch a video here and listen to an audio there. Doesn't work. If you follow this thing and you do it systematically day after day, your progress accumulates. I've seen people and I've heard about people and I've read about people who've been taking this program, and for some people they begin to see results immediately and it continues to grow. For other people, it could take 4 weeks, 5 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks before they see significant results. Then it begins to snowball. Okay? So it all depends. It all depends. I can't really give you any specific numbers for you because everyone's different. But what I do know is that if you follow the system and you follow it correctly, and I'm going to talk about one of the major factors in the next part, in the P. But if you follow the system, you're going to get the results. You're going to get the results. You will hear me say this. There's no doubt in my mind that you won't get results. Okay? Because it's how you and I are designed. It's simply how we learn things. It's how we grow. This system is based on how we learn and how we grow, how we develop. So you initiate what? A systematic process, something that you're going to do every day, even if it's for a short period of time. Now, I recommend that you spend at least an hour a day working on your speech. It doesn't have to be 1 hour at a time. It can be 10 minutes at a time, all throughout the day. But I recommend you spend an hour a day. Why? Because all of my clients tell me that when they spend an hour a day, they get the fastest results and the best results. Some of those same clients tell me when they've tried 30 minutes a day or less, they didn't get the same results. So it's up to you. But I recommend that you spend an hour a day, okay? And if you're busy, I've worked with some of the fact the busier the clients, the better they do. The busier the clients. So you can't say you're too busy. I have people that have children, they have jobs, they do all kinds of things, and they're the ones that do the best. You can't say, well, I'm just too busy, I don't have time. You always have time. You always have time to do what you really want to do, right? So you have time in the car, on the bus, on the train, on the bike, walking, right? You have time. I had a lady who used to practice. She's extremely busy. One of my best clients, and I have all great clients. And what she would do is while she's walking down the hall from her office to another office, because she was an executive, she would be practicing. She would have something playing in her office. She would have something playing while she was watching TV at night. So she was kind of multitasking. So there's always time. You always can make time. Now, let's talk about this P. The P stands for my favorite word and yours, which is practice. So the big tip is you want to be aware that this is a transformational process. You're transforming, and transformation takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to initiate a systematic process, so you need to be doing a little something at least a little something each and every day, right? Every single day, systematically working on it. Remember the law of repetition. As you repeat something over and over, it becomes automatic. It becomes a pattern. It becomes natural. Remember the law of accumulation, that everything you do counts. Everything you do counts. So as you do something, and you do it systematically over and over, the results are accumulating. And in fact, you may not see results at first, but eventually, bam, it's like a snowball. All of a sudden it's there. You're like, where did that come from? Well, it came from all those little steps, the little actions, the time that you were taking before working on it. Okay, so don't give up, because you might you might be just this far away from actually seeing results. And sometimes you have to look for the results because they're actually there. They just may not be as big as you might expect or want. Okay. Finally, the P stands for practice. Now listen to me carefully. You can watch videos, you can listen to audio, you can think about it, you can try to use the techniques, and you're probably going to get some results, right? You might get great results, in fact. But the one thing that makes this long-term, that makes it more permanent, is practice. You absolutely have to practice. What do I mean by practice? What I mean is, and what I use is modeling. The fastest way to develop a new speaking style is to just model someone else, because it helps you forget about yourself, your current speaking identity, and create a new one. And it can do this immediately. Literally, I talk to people every single day. Here's what they say. When I pretend to be someone else, when I change my voice, my speech improves when? Instantly, immediately. This absolutely works, right? So we use this as our structure, as our system. Now, you can do that on demand, but we don't want you to have to do it on demand. We want to turn it into your current, into your present speaking style. So how do you do that? Well, you have a target, you have a model, you have someone that you model after, you model their speaking style. And you practice speaking this way, right? You practice it in private at first, then you practice it with family or friends, people who you're more comfortable with. Then you practice in public. Now, we use presentations because those are the fastest things that you can model someone, that you can improve on. Also, you're getting a 2-for-1 or a 10-for-1, really, in that you're going to actually become an excellent presenter if you work through this program as I've instructed, right? You're actually going to learn how to present or improve your presentation skills. So we use presentations because that's the fastest way, the easiest way to create a new speaking style. But what about conversations and answering the phone, introducing yourself? Okay, well, by doing the presentations, you learn a particular style, right? You learn a particular style. What you have to do is take the elements, articulating, inflecting, extending, and all that. Take the elements from that style and apply them to your conversations. Sometimes I have people say, okay, if you're having a problem translating or transferring, then when you converse, just start out in a presentation style and then bring it down, right? Just turn it down some. Someone says, well, that's kind of strange. Well, let me ask you a question. Which is more strange, stuttering, getting stuck, or speaking in somewhat of a more dramatic presentation style? I'm not talking about going over the top like, hey, how you doing, right? I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying, if you're like, hey, how are you, right? That's not over the top. My name is Michael Williams. And how are you? And what's your name? That's not over the top. Right? And then you can bring it down. You can bring it down once you get used to it. So how do you do this? You have to practice it. So you go out, you take your new speaking style, and you practice it in real life conversations. You practice it introducing yourself. You practice it asking questions, making presentations, conversing with people. And of course, it might not work at first. It might take a little while. It's just like anything. Anything that you learn new, it feels awkward. You feel uncomfortable. It must feel that way. It has to feel that way at first because it's new. It's not within your comfort zone. So, again, I ask you the question, which is more strange? Stuttering, getting stuck, not being able to say something, making all kinds of faces, doing things with your body, or using a presentation style at first, right? And then modifying it, bringing it down eventually so that it's more conversational. I can tell you what's more strange is the stuttering. And so you got to work through that. You just have to work through it. There's no shortcut. There's no magic. You just have to work through it, right? If you want to speak well. If you don't want to speak well, then keep your same identity and just try using it whenever you want. And sometimes it's not going to work. It's going to fail you because it hasn't become a habit, hasn't become a pattern. Whenever you open your mouth, you should be using your new speaking style. I know you say easier said than done, but it can be done. I'm watching people do it every day. If they can do it, you can do it too, okay? So practice. You pick a model, and in fact, we're going to talk about this maybe in the next session, I believe. But you're going to pick a model, you're going to practice presenting like that model, and you're going to continue to practice and practice and practice, and then use it and use it and use it, okay? So we'll walk through a 5 or 6 or 7 step system to help you actually do that. But I just want to let you know that if you want to transform your speech, you need to do these 3 things. You need to, number 1, remember it's a process. You're transforming, you're changing. It's not going to happen overnight. Just say, I'm going to take the next year to work on my speech. Just give it a year, right? I need to initiate a systematic process. Initiate means you need to do something. You don't just come in, buy the course, okay, I'm going to speak well now, I got this course. No, you've got to get in there, watch it, listen to it, and then practice. Do the practices. Not just watch and listen and then try to do it when you need to, but you actually need to practice. That's where it works. Practice, right? You got to get in there and you got to spend the time, at least an hour a day, make the time, find the time, and then go out and not only practice in private. That's good to get started, but you got to practice in public. When I say practice, I'm not just saying go out in public and try to do the presentation. I'm saying go out and try to use your new speaking style. Look at that as practice as well. Okay? All right, that about does it. I think I've wrapped it up a few times, so I don't want to wrap it up again. But I do want to make an announcement to you that I'm very happy to announce that the mobile app is now available in the App Store. So I'm inviting a few beta testers, people that have already signed up, and some other folks to actually beta test this. And when I say beta test it, it's already out, right? It's been tested. But the beta testers are going to go through there as real live users while it's out there live. And they're going to go through there and they're going to check it out and check out some of the features and provide me their feedback and also leave comments for the public. as well. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and leave me your email or send me an email. And there's various different ways that you can do that. And we can get you signed up. I think I'm only going to take about 50 or so beta testers. What this means is that when you download the app, you can download it for free, but it's limited, and you're going to get the free basic courses, right? The free basic courses. If you want to unlock all the other features, then there's a fee for that. There's a small monthly fee, there's 6 months, and there's an annual fee. And it's very, very affordable. If you have an iPhone, you can probably afford this. And you look at this as though it's an investment in your life. The little bit of money that you spend on this, it will pale in comparison to the amount of money that you're going to make by getting a better job, by getting a job. It's going to pale in comparison to the health benefits, the mental benefits. So I don't even have to say that. This really works. You will see the results, both financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So I said all of that just to say that for my beta testers, when you sign up, you're going to get the free account, and then I'm going to go in and give you complimentary access to all of the paid features for about 4 months. So you'll have it for 4 months, okay? So if it's something that you're interested in, send me an email, and I'll get you set up as quickly as possible. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you in the next live stream, live with